Decided to go for a walk today. Not too far, just around. There's an area just about 10-15 minutes from my house. It's got about 848 acres to wander around on. All state land. It's a beautiful area. It's where I'm at right now, just one section of it. It's not the section I wanted to come to. The one I went to earlier I couldn't get into because the snow drifts from the plow were too high. I couldn't get into the parking spot. But this one, they haven't really come through as heavily, and it's not quite as much snow in this little spot here. But it's a little bit more secluded in the woods, so they didn't get as much right here. So it was good enough for me to park. Anyway, here I am walking this trail. I'm the first one out here since the decent snow we just got. I don't know, we got about 6-7 inches of snow. It's a little bit warmer today, maybe up in the upper teens Fahrenheit. Anyway, going for walks is a really neat spot. This is one of the spots I've hiked a lot in the summertime. It's got a 5-mile loop that I do that's also connected to the North Country Trail. I decided today I'm gonna walk around out here, just film some stuff, show you some of the stuff that I've come across in the past. And I put my orange on today and grabbed my 410 just in case I run across some bunnies or a squirrel or something. But all right, I'll keep you posted. There's a river. There's a ridge right there that goes down. In the bottom of that ridge, there's a little river. And then there's a big, well, not big, but a small little lake up in there. Maybe we'll head up in there. It's a bit of a hike. It's probably about 1.25 miles back there. So we'll see if we can make our way back. Maybe I'll do the loop, the 5-mile loop. I don't know. Wasn't really planning on that today, but we'll see what happens. All right, well, stay tuned. I tell you, no sooner than I said there might be a bunny or a squirrel out here, just in case, I look over on this little path down these power lines right here. I saw a little rabbit bouncing around right over here. So I came over here, followed his tracks right here, right down in through here, and he went underneath that little brush, underneath that log. Never came out. There's no tracks anywhere. But I have been stomping around there, trying to get anything to come out, digging down along the edge of it, and there's nothing. So I don't know if there's a little burrow under there I don't know about or what, but that little guy is gone. Jeez, I don't know where he went. Oh well, I guess we'll move on. Maybe I'll come back around and see if I can get him on the way back, I guess. Oh well, keep moving. It was fun though to see him. I ended up kind of taking a different route than I normally do, just because I'm just kind of wandering right now. I don't have necessarily any specific agenda. But I came to this spot. I was gonna go take the power lines down to the creek and walk the creek for a ways, because it's a really beautiful setting down there. Plus, I think I know where that porcupine is living. I was gonna go see if that porcupine was still there. But anyway, I came up the ridge and moved more upland into the hardwoods and came upon this little area. This is an area I don't normally walk. I don't remember exactly what type of plant this is, but there's just a big opening clearing of it. It's like a small little lowland, almost like a small little bog. It's pretty neat. It almost looks like blueberries, but I don't think it's blueberries. But anyway, we'll keep going. I might go back, because this goes for a long ways. This hardwoods goes for a long ways. Maybe I'll keep going down the creek back to the lake, see if we can go back that way, just because it's got a little bit better scenery. This is just, it's a beautiful hardwoods, don't get me wrong, but it's just flat and just trees. A lot of it I haven't seen before either, so I don't know, maybe we'll do that on another video. I'll wander around more of this space. 840 acres is a lot to cover. I've been coming up here for years, but a lot of it I haven't even seen yet. Today I've got a few more hours of daylight, so I should be able to get some better footage in the daytime. But there's no waterfalls, nothing like that. Just a neat spot that I like to come to. It's very close to my house. So anyway, I'll make it down towards the the creek. We'll go from there. We'll shoot some bunnies and some squirrels along the way if we can. All right. I'm just walking along, and I realize somebody at some point was out here playing golf in these woods. Hole in one, baby. Can't make that stuff up. It's real. It's a true story. All right, so this is going to be a total change of scenery. I went from that hardwoods right on that ridge, and I'm still on that ridge, but it's sloping down and going to go into a bunch of hemlock, white pine, kind of lowerland, boggy, marshy. This is where a lot of the underground freshwater springs are at that help feed this. There's something over there. Oh, it's just a bird or something. Anyway, we're gonna wander down there, so it's gonna be a lot thicker. Not as open. You can't see as far in front of you, but I like the spot because I think this is where my porcupine friend is hiding. But all right, let's head on down there and give you a shot of what that looks like. You can see it gets a lot darker, really thick in here. So we're gonna go down there, wander around for a bit. And I just realized I didn't bring another battery with me, so I have to conserve my footage here so my battery doesn't run out. So I'll try and be picky about what I get for you guys, make sure that it's not just a bunch of boring jibba jabba. All right, here we go. All right, so after some camera malfunctions, you can see all these tracks right here on the ground going up all over, right up here, going right here up to that tree. This is where that porcupine's at. I can smell him too. I can just smell his poop. See, that's where he drops. He's right up in there. Right up in there. I can hear him in there too. I can't see him, but he's up in there quite a ways. I can hear him though. He's in there. You see right there, I don't know if you can see it, right there's a big old pile of more poop. This is big white pine. Big white pine. Of course you got a bunch of deer tracks. Like crazy out here too. It's this little opening right here in the middle of the hemlocks down here, but this is a big white pine. Anyway, let's keep moseying, keep going. Actually gonna probably not film as much as this lowland down here, even though this is one of my favorites, because it's just redundant, right? It just stays the same. I'm going to save it most of my battery life when we get more towards where the creek opens up and get a better view of that, and try to get down to that lake. We'll view that and get maybe some more of the trail up there, but we'll keep on going. This is the little river that comes out of that lake. Not quite frozen over as much as I thought it was going to be. It's just a nice little area. Of course, it's thick brush over here on it, but you get these little clearings like this, it opens up so you can walk down. It's a beautiful, it's not very deep either. You know, it's only a few inches, maybe a foot in some spots. Still a beautiful spot. All right, let's keep going. All right, we're coming up on a spot I wanted to stop at just because it's just a neat little visual spot. It's also a place to stop and rest for a little bit. I gotta get some of these layers off. I am just sweating. It's become way too hot to walk. Wasn't planning on wearing this big orange when I originally decided to come out today. But anyway. Oh, a lot of trees have come down since the last time I've been here. That big log right there was not there. That's a nice little spot again by the creek. Let's see if I can get down. I can't get down. I mean, I could, but I'd be covered in mud. As it opens up in here, you kind of see a little ways, but pretty beautiful little spot though. Nice and quiet and peaceful here. So I'm actually realizing that I should probably start heading back. There's a couple other things I needed to do today. Kind of got away from me. So I'm not gonna be able to make it back as far as the lake today, unfortunately, which I'm only about halfway right now. It's gonna take me a while to get back. But I guess maybe tomorrow I can come out and take you all the way back to the lake. It's gonna be warmer tomorrow. It's supposed to be another, shoot, almost 10 degrees warmer tomorrow. But either way, I gotta head back, maybe film a few things on the way back. Hopefully get some better shots. That was the creek there that flows up the lake. Well, as far as the creek is concerned, it's quite a ways up yet, but the trail, it's not, I don't know, it's not that far, but I'm just running out of time today. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so this is actually day 2 of this hike, because yesterday I actually had to go back and take care of some stuff. So I had to cut it short, but I came right back to the exact same spot that I turned the camera off yesterday. I'm going to be starting again from this exact same spot, and we'll go from here. Wearing the same clothes, whatever. I'm out doing the same thing. There is a trail up here, but I'm not going to take that trail. I'm actually going to stay right along this ridge. You can see it right along this ridge that leads down to that creek that I showed you. Because there's the creek right there, and then the lake is up in there. So I'm just going to stay along this ridge because the trail is way over there, and it eventually makes its way up there. But I'm going to stay along this ridge just because it's a little bit prettier, it's a little bit nicer, and I don't want to go on the trail. I like going off the trail and seeing things that most people don't get to see. So I'll keep you informed as I go. We're gonna pick it up now, head out. I just want to stop for a minute and just do the restart so we can get going. But once I get going, I'll film it up again when we get down to the lake. And just, there's another stream actually. There's actually 2 lakes that connect. They're both spring-fed lakes, and one flows from one into the other, and then they go out. So we'll go check it out, see what we can find. All right, we just came into a different area. It just opened up. I was in this thick hemlock, and there's a bunch of cedars, stuff like down here where that ridge is. But then there's the creek right there that flows down there. Maybe we'll go down there in a second. And then it opens up into this section of nice big hardwoods. It looks like mostly red oak, and then a bunch of red pine behind there. And we're gonna be going try that way, but I'm gonna come down there. I'll take you down there and I'll show you some of the terrain down here. It's really wet. And there's the creek. But you see areas like this one right here in front of me. There's another one over here where there's this whole area down here is just full of freshwater springs that come out and flow into these. See, like this one here, right there, flows into that creek from the lake. And all this is part of a system that drains out into a larger river, which then drains out into a larger river, which goes into Lake Michigan. So all this starts just right up in these little valleys like this, and eventually work their way out to Lake Michigan. And there's all kinds of, I mean, this whole area is pretty much has this type of a terrain like this. There's several areas of freshwater springs and small creeks that all flow into a different river. I think that's one of the reasons why the state wanted to preserve this area. It's because of its natural beauty and just the fresh water that comes out of here. We'll wander over here for a little bit. See, all this stuff's getting really thick and stuff down here. I'm gonna see if I can go up a little bit higher up on that ridge and work my way down. I still got a little ways to get to the first lake. But once I get closer to it, get it into a better shot, I'll see if we can go down there. Hopefully it's got enough ice on it. We can get out there. I'm sure it is, but honestly, I've never been back to this lake in the wintertime, so I don't know what it's like. But we've had some pretty deep freezes this year. And today, actually, again, this is the second day of this hike, but today it's about 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. So, not that that's going to necessarily change the ice or anything, but it just changes the logistics of the hike a little bit. It's definitely warmer, but it's still a beautiful day. Got a bunch of these big blowovers. Normally this area down here is just marshy and sopping wet. There's another little spring right there. I tell you today that when I was out here yesterday, I took the same path to get here. There are so many more deer tracks today. Deer were just going crazy yesterday. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is deer, because I did run across some coyote tracks too. Back up on the hill, back in the woods, farther up in the hardwoods. But anyway, I'll keep going down along here once I find a place to enter in, because the lake is surrounded by cattails too. So I got to try to find a good, decent way in. Otherwise, I didn't bring a machete or anything to chop my way in, so I might have to just brute strength and smash my way in. But we'll see what we can do. All right, we'll move on. So this spot's kind of interesting. I've never been over here. There's a trail actually that runs the trail. It's up in those pines at the top, and it goes this way, but then it continues to head farther east. So it doesn't come down. There's like a little marshy bowl here, and there's this little ridge that kind of goes right in the middle, and the lake is up in that way. So I think I'm going to go down this way. I haven't been down this way before. Matter of fact, I've only been down that trail one other time last year. No, it was early. It was late fall. No, it was early winter 2024. So it was only like a couple months ago. And I didn't follow it all the way down because, again, I was on kind of a time crunch. I couldn't get all the way down here. But today, I have more time. So I'm just going to wander down here and see what I can find. I've never seen this spot before. This big old white oak that broke. It's interesting. There's a big old tree. That's a lot of wood there. Man. See, it's all rotted out at the base like that. Surprised there's not a little critter in there. It's like something's been around here though. There's tracks all over. Most of it's probably just deer, but that's a big tree. All right, keep going. Yeah, look at all these tracks. All these deer tracks. There's deer tracks everywhere back here. Really nice looking white oak trees in here too. But it is getting warm. A warm walk. The sun's coming out and the temperature's gone up. Looks like somebody's old tree stand right up in there. Years ago. Been there a while. The trees are already starting to grow into it. All right, let's see what else we can find. I'll turn you off for now. I'll see you when we get up a little bit farther up on that ridge over there. We're coming up on the lake here pretty soon, and I know the lake has a ridge on one side of it that I can get up on before I go down there. So I'll go check that out, see if I can get some good footage. Maybe we can see the lake from there. I don't know. We'll check it out though. All right, we'll be back. So this right here, I told you that there's another lake farther up, and the two connect. Well, this is that little creek or stream, whatever you want to call it, that connects it. It's like somebody at some point made a little bridge here. I'm gonna cross it. Looks like it goes all the way out, goes through all that undergrowth. I thought it went into the lake, but it doesn't. It actually flows into that stream. It meets up into that creek that flows out of the main lake. So I was wrong, but now I know. You can see this thing's froze over. It looks pretty cool. Alright, we're gonna cut up this little hill and see if we can't get farther back to that spot. Well, at some point I'm gonna have to stop again and shed some layers because it's getting toasty. That breeze feels good. That wind's picking up. There's a warm front that's coming through. Actually feels pretty good. Again, I'm just wandering around. Don't really have a destination in mind other than hoping to see the lake from a good vantage point. If not, we'll get down to the lake. Try to anyway. But it's a long ways yet. Wow, I can see the, hang on, you can't see it, the tree line way back there. It's actually quite a long ways. This is all that stream yet. There's I don't know what this is gonna look like. And it's got some thick undergrowth down there. This might not be as easy as might be even easier, harder than I thought. I don't know. I do see another spot though that's up higher. That right there, looks like it's if you go around this section, go up there, it looks like it gets a lot higher. So I'm gonna go over there, see if we can get a better look at things, better layout from there. All right, keep you posted once I get up there. Well, I made it to the top of the ridge, and you can in fact see the lake from here. It's right there. I can get closer, but there's actually people out there ice fishing. A couple of shanties out there, so there's about 3 of them I can see right now. So I'll probably wander up on the ridge and just take a couple of shots from up there, views, but I'm not gonna go down there and bother them. But I guess that's it, really. Yeah, there's 4 shanties, 5. Because you can get back to this lake from a 2-track. It's just really hard to get to. So these guys must have snowmobiles or something to get back there, because it's not a county maintained road. It's not plowed or anything. I took the long way around just because I had never been back to this spot before this way. I actually prefer the walk. But anyway, there it is. All that right there. Again, I'm not going to go down there and disturb those guys. There's a bunch of guys down there fishing, so we might wander up here through here, maybe we can find that other lake. Maybe we can go back there. I don't know. Again, that one's not serviced by the county either, so it would be really... Of course, there's houses on that lake on the other side. Half of it belongs to the state, the other half is private. But anyway, I hope you had fun with this. I wish I could show you more. I wish there was a lot more beautiful things to see and scenery and stuff like that, you know, but where I'm at, there is plenty more to this property. The 840, this was only about 150 of it. So maybe I'll finish up this hike here on this section and we'll move to a different one and go find some other spots, because there's a couple other really nice spots. One of them in particular has got a lot of ridges, really high, tall ridges with a stream that flows. Actually, if you look, there's a tree line right there, way off in the distance. That's where it's at. And it has another freshwater spring, freshwater creek that flows into this lake. And there's a whole nother section over there, about 150 acres or more. Maybe we can go to that one next. We'll check that out. Save that one for another day. All right, folks, thanks a lot. I'm gonna see if I can make it to the other lake. If I can, then I'll film that. Otherwise, this will be it. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you on the next one. Have a good day. God bless. So I found this little, I'm walking west towards that other lake. I found this sweet little cedar grove. I come down here, all these beautiful cedar trees. And of course, the canopy up top is so thick. Not a lot of snow gets down here, so it's a good place to kind of get out of the weather. And I'm not the only one who likes being down here, see? We got several of these little beds the deer have been on. A lot of deer tracks and movement down here. Several beds. And it looks like that little creek I found is right here. Maybe not right there. Yeah, see? There's water I can see in certain spots. This whole area is kind of swampy, but I think this is that creek. It's just frozen over. Deer been out here. Yeah, this is the creek. It's frozen. Mostly. I don't think I'm going to walk on it. But I've never been to this spot. This is really cool. So I want to try. There's supposedly, I looked at my maps, there's two small, well, there's the one lake I know, but there's a smaller pond that's supposed to be here too. So I'm going to see if I can find that. It looks like it might be right up in here. But I'm going to wander through here, see if I can find it. It's thick in here. But maybe if I find it, I'll turn it on again and take a look at it. Maybe someday we can come back and try to fish it. That was wonderful. I love these cedar groves like this. They're just so peaceful and quiet and beautiful. These are some nice cedar trees too. White cedar. They're nice and straight. Just a nice little area here. Good place to come in the summertime and set up a hammock. Just relax and listen to the wind in the trees. And cool off in this little creek here. Stream, whatever you want to call it. Brook, stream, creek, what's the difference? What is the difference? I don't know. All right. I'm gonna wander. See if I can find that lake. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Well, I did end up making my way back to those other two, or that other lake that has a smaller pond, but I didn't film it just because that half the lake is state owned, the other half is private, and there's houses on it. So I wanted to be respectful of people's privacy in their homes and not film any of that, because it's a small lake and you can pretty much see them pretty easily. So anyway, this was probably it for this adventure. There's a lot more I could walk through and find and see and whatnot, but it's mostly just trees, mostly just the same thing. Just wanted to come to more of the the features, the land features that this offered with some of the ravines, the streams, and the lakes. But that's pretty much it. Again, I thank you guys for watching, coming along on my journeys here. We'll keep going. Move on to another spot for another video. So stay tuned. I'll be posting more in the future throughout this year. I've got a lot I'm going to do this year. A lot of things I'm going to go see and experience. And I'm going to try filming the whole thing. So thank you guys a lot. I appreciate it. Again, have a great, wonderful day, and God bless.